Hi friends! Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and Cal and I are here today to talk to you about some really awesome books that I think you might like. But before we get started, first I would like to say, Happy September! We are officially in one of my favorite months of the whole year, and not just because I love fall, but because the last week of every September is what's called Banned Books Week. Now, Banned Books Week is a week that's dedicated to free speech and the freedom to read. How cool is that? It usually highlights current and historical attempts to censor books in libraries and schools. The whole book community gets together to celebrate this. Librarians, booksellers, teachers, but especially you guys, the readers. You're the most important ones. They come together all to support books and the freedom to read whatever you want. So, what is banning books? What is censorship? Censorship is the act of somebody in authority trying to suppress ideas and information within books. Now, sometimes books become challenged, which means that someone is trying to get them removed from the library. But other times they do finally become banned, and that's when they actually do take them away from the library. Books can be banned or challenged for all kinds of reasons: political, religious, moral, social. Sometimes they're banned because people don't like the language in them. But I thought, because this is such an important week, especially to libraries and readers, that we're going to celebrate by this whole month talking about different books that have been banned or challenged and seeing if they might be something that you're interested in reading. So for this first week, we're going to actually talk not about books that have been banned, but books that are about books being banned. And the first one is called Ban This Book by Alan Gratz. And this one is for readers 8 and up. And this is a book about a girl who loves books and loves to read. And her name is Amy. And one day she goes to her school library trying to find and check out one of her favorite books, which happens to be From the Mixed Up Files of Miss Basil E. Frankenwehr. Now, I don't know about you, but that's actually one of my favorite books too. So anyway, she goes to get that book from the library, and the librarian tells her some really awful news. The book has been removed from the library because one of her classmates' parents, didn't think it was appropriate to read, so they had it removed from the library. So because of this, Amy decides to start her own banned books library in her locker. Can you believe that? She gets all these books that are starting to be banned, and she keeps them in her locker for kids to come and check out and read so that they still can read these books. It's really, what a cool idea is that, right? Does she get caught? Does she get in trouble? I don't know. You're going to have to read it to find out. The second book is called Property of the Rebel Librarian. Property of the Rebel Librarian, and that's by Allison Varner. And that is also for readers 8 and up. I'm sorry, it's Allison Varnes, not Varner. So this is another book about a young girl who does not ever get in any trouble. She goes to school, does her homework, she plays an instrument, she reads a lot, she does everything she's supposed to do all the time. Until her parents actually get involved with getting books pulled from the school library because they think that they're inappropriate and they don't want her to read them. So she does sort of the same thing that Amy does in this other book, is she starts collecting books and she starts she starts allowing them for other people to check them out and read them so that they don't actually get completely suppressed. And this is another thing where it blows up, and this is her own parents that she's going against, and that's a really scary thing. But it was just so important for her, to be able to read the books that she wanted to read. What happens? Does she end up, do her parents understand? What happens? It's another one you're just going to have to read it to find out. So that is what I have for you friends today, and I hope that these two books sounded interesting. And next week and the few weeks after that for the rest of September, we're going to talk about a bunch of different books that have been banned and why you might want to read them and why they're really cool. So if you did like these two books that we talked about today, you can actually find them at the Farmington Community Library. You can put them on hold and pick them up during our curbside service, or we've just entered phase 3 and you can actually come into the building for limited amounts of time. So you can come and pick them up that way as well. Thank you so much, friends, and have a wonderful week.